All right, let's try this again. Play back. I'm gonna roll back some of the music though, because one of those songs. This is cool. All right, it looks like we got a much better connection now. So I want to get back into this. All right. Whew. Let's try this again. Hopefully, this can be seen. Hold on, let me just check if we are appearing in other places. All right, bet. Now it's coming up. You can see in the chat. Let me know. Someone type something in the chat if you can see this. There we go. We back. How we doing now, bro? I bet. So, what are you talking about the bit rate? You know what? Whatever. All right, let me get back into this. Hopefully, this thing won't mess up during the stream because it will choose tonight when I want to go live that I'm going to get the warnings and the bit rate stuff and all that stuff with YouTube and everything. And I can't deal with that tonight. I cannot. But what's happening, everybody? Welcome. My name is Avidan Smith, and I am your host for tonight. And we got a lot to talk about because DJ Akademiks has just been banned from Twitch. He's been banned and cut off from Happy Dad, and Steak has unfollowed him. Businesses are cutting their connections with DJ Akademiks, and the reason why this needs to be talked about is because I don't think you all remember, but last week this dude was saying, not last week, earlier this week rather, he was saying that he can't be canceled. In fact, I'm gonna bring us back to it. I'm gonna bring us back to what he said. Let me see. They're saying my bit rate should be 13,500. Can I even fix that right now? I can't even fix that right now. So hopefully the views it don't drop. Y'all let me know how we doing with the stream. Hopefully it stays. We'll maintain it. Let me hit the record because we gotta hit the record button on this. All right, y'all. So DJ Akademiks has said this early this week, and I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to see live what he said. So y'all remember I played this before, right? I want y'all to hear what he has to say.
Happen. We need to cancel act. This is about the 18th time I've tried to have this conversation. I do want to let y'all know whether you're another community, whether you're the bitches with 15 baby daddies who are on baller alert, or the neighborhood talk, or you're one of those Kendrick fans who are upset that, I'm sorry, Drake still is giving BTA belt to ass. I get it. Y'all are upset. How do we cancel act? I'm still the biggest. Pause. You can't cancel what you didn't build.
So let's stop there. Let's talk about that, okay? Let's talk about the fact that he is saying that we can't cancel what we didn't build. Twitch helped build you. They're banning you. Stake has endorsed you so you can get some money. They unfollowed you. Happy Dad, another endorsement. They cut ties with you. So while the people themselves cannot cancel you, they did not help you build, quote unquote, build per se. The problem is, let me play some music as we're talking. The problem is other people who are connected to them has said, you know what? Let's not support this dude. And matter of fact, I want to show something else. Even Meek Mills, I saw this as I was scrolling to get the video. Meek Mill urges parents to block DJ Akademiks from their kids' phones after the streamer made sexual comments to a 15-year-old boy. He's grooming children. Did I not say that? Did I not tell y'all the same thing on yesterday, that do not, if your children are following him, block their phone from him. Block any ties towards this dude. Y'all have it on record that I told y'all that yesterday. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because this is a bigger conversation about let's just ban academics. This is a much, much bigger conversation that I don't think that we are privy to. And I wanted to focus the conversation more around what it means to protect our children. More specifically, our sons, our boys, because this isn't cancel culture. I know we're very big and everything. A lot of people say, oh, cancel culture this, cancel culture that. This has nothing to do with cancel culture. And yeah, if y'all notice, I'm using this webcam instead of my strong webcam because I don't want to have to fiddle with a camera just to talk to y'all tonight. So this is going to be raw. It's going to be uncut. And I'm just going to give y'all my raw thoughts, because a lot of the times when we talk about protection, we have a lot of conversation about protecting our daughters. We have a lot of conversation to make sure that our daughters are safe, to make sure our little girls are to remain pure and innocent. But when it comes to our son, when it comes to our boys, we actually, as a culture, found it okay to celebrate them when they are active early, before the ages of 18, 21, 25, and so on. And we think it's a rite to passage. In fact, we clown and make fun of our sons and our young boys who don't go in that direction. We think that there's something wrong with them. And the reason why I wanted to touch on this, because while it may seem cool in the high school status, while it all may seem cool from the place of, I'm not gonna just say high school, but even college and even some workplaces where we chastise the man or the young man who wants to have a sense of innocence and purity to himself, we neglect the fact that when we create a society of men who don't have proper sexual control growing up in their teens, that this creates a destructive generation, because these are the same men who are supposed to be leading our daughters, and they do a terrible job, and this creates a big mess of children who don't know how to function correctly, because you have two adults who have a bit of trauma on both ends. And what's not talked about is when you have these young boys go through that, they don't know how to express the fact that they got introduced to something too early, and that they had to quickly adapt. They had to quickly chop off any feelings or attachments that they may have towards the first person they was with, because the culture says, no, that's not what you're supposed to do. And I'm talking about it this way because this is the conversation that is had behind closed doors. We saw live what happens behind closed doors to a lot of 15-year-old boys. And unfortunately, most 15-year-old boys are not like that streamer. Most 15-year-old boys are not saying, oh, I could get these adults in trouble. I could have them catch a case. That is not the conversation the most 15 boys are having. This shows what happens when you have a child who has good parents to make sure that, no, you don't cross these barriers. and he's just trying to do his Fortnite thing, which I respect. So to much of what DJ Academics is saying, I don't like the way this is going. So I'm making it clear that this is bigger than cancel culture. This is much bigger than cancel culture. For those of you who have not already, I just ask you to hit the like button as well. Leave a comment. Drop some emojis in the chat. So, cause I want to talk to you all about this. I don't want to you know, rant and the whole time. I want to talk to y'all about this. So I see Chris is in here. We got 5 people watching. Feel free to chime in at any moment. But this is just my beginning thoughts. Like, what are y'all takes? I know I said a lot to start us off, but what are y'all takes so far? Because this is something that really did bother me, and I didn't get a chance to really, dive right in because I had to go back to work. Now that I don't really have to go back to work, I could really talk more without promptings and everything. I can talk more unchained than I normally would. So I do appreciate, those of you coming. But I just found it funny. The dude said, y'all can't cancel me. And Twitch was like, bet. Let's see if you have that same energy. And it's just apparent that this is going to be something that I don't know if I could come back from this, because it's usually a chain that happens. Once one company pulls a trigger, other companies follow suit. And the fact that it wasn't just one company, it was 3 companies in 24 hours. Well, not 24 hours. This happened on Friday, but in less than a week, 3 companies are pulling back. 3 companies saying, nah, I don't want nothing to do with this. So it's like, it makes you think, it's like, is there a comeback for him? And if there isn't a comeback for him, then my question to everybody else is, what do we do to secure that predatory natures like this don't happen again for our children? Because the truth of the matter is, we can't just say, oh, parents monitor. Parents do a phenomenal job with monitoring and doing all that they can for their children. After a certain age, you want to put enough trust in your child to be able to go into environments and believe that they're safe. So the question is, what can we do as a community online to make sure that our sons and our daughters can have a safe environment? Because, and matter of fact, I'll go ahead and find it and play it. I don't know. I want y'all to know that this is not me tripping at all. This is like, it's some of you, if y'all didn't hear it, because I always want to assume that folks didn't hear it. If you didn't hear what happened, it could get really bad. And I just noticed I had my volume down, so I may have to play the initial clip again. I do apologize, y'all. I just noticed that my Twitch volume was down, so I'm gonna pull it back up a bit. But before I do that, I do want to touch on what Chris Gamer said. He said, honestly, I'm not surprised. He got caught. From what little I've seen of his account, he did seem super off, even ignoring his connection with Drake. And I agree, he's not coming back. Yeah, I don't think he is either. So let me play the clip that was cringy. Then I'm gonna play where he said he didn't get canceled again, in case y'all didn't hear it. So let's dive back into the live stream and let's play it. And I'm warning y'all, this is trigger. This may trigger you. So if you there's very sensitive language here. So if you got children in the room, get the children out the room, put on your headphones or something. I'm giving y'all the warning now. This is not a family-friendly stream. This is not a family-friendly conversation that you're about to hear. This was said to a 15-year-old child live stream. As you can see, he's playing Fortnite live, and what you're about to hear is what's happening live stream. So you can imagine what type of conversations are happening behind the scenes. Let's listen.
If Max said he wanted to try fucking a dude, would you let him fuck you?
No.
Why not?
I
Why
don't
not?
want it.
Yo,
I'm
yo,
not
yo, yo, yo,
gay.
you can have.
So if you
Wait,
say
wait, wait.
if I can't fuck you, I'm cutting you off.
No, yo. Suppose he's like, yo, bro. Listen, yo, you always wanted me to be next to you. Now I could be inside of you. Pause.
Yo, I'm not gay.
You
Nah,
said
you
you was
say,
sucking dick though.
yeah.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
heck with it.
Wait, hold on. So you tell me that there's not another 15-year-old that you could bust down?
Yo, bro.
Yo, like, I'm serious.
So I'm gonna get some commentary here. First of all, shout out to Andy for the 199 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. I want to just chime in and talk to y'all straight about this. Do y'all see right here where he is visually uncomfortable? You could tell he is he is not comfortable, and there are so many choice things says. Yes, he is. We can easily say that this isn't so much grooming, but that is not an appropriate conversation or appropriate things that you should ever say to a child. Like, real talk, you talk to my child like that, I'm knocking your teeth down your throat. that's that's on everything. That's on everything, and I don't care how that comes off to people. I don't care if people say, "Oh, it's too violent." No, you got no business. You got no business to talk to a child that way. So that's why I kind of get, a little upset when I see stuff like this because, yeah. But let me keep playing the clip.
So there's not another 15-year-old you could bust down.
You go to school?
Yo, if Max got a sister and she threw you the box, would you smash her?
He already has a sister.
All right, if she threw you the box, would you smash her?
No, because I'm 15.
What I mean?
What does that mean?
She's above 18.
What I mean?
Okay, what does that mean?
It will be grooming.
It'll be what?
Grooming.
That has nothing to do with you.
And do you see that? So this is where I want to pause at that. He knows. The child knows exactly what grooming is. And he even voices it. Hey, this is illegal. Hey, someone could get in trouble for this. And the response is, what does that have to do with you? It's stuff like that bothers me. Because, again, these are the conversations that are happening behind closed doors. These are the conversations, and I guarantee you, there's a lot more peer pressure. There's a lot more the foot against the neck to pressure you into going into a direction that you probably don't want to go to as a young child, where you have adults, not just other teenagers, not just your peers. You have adults talking to you this way. And we think it's okay. We think it's okay because, it's just what goes around. And tonight is a night where I'm really going to challenge the culture on this. It's like if you were one of those people watching my videos, yes, I'm talking to you. Don't talk to the younger generation that way. Just because that's just how it was when you grew up. Understand how it felt when you went through it and see, okay, is this the best thing going forward? Just because something was the way you went through doesn't mean this is what the next grade of people have to go through. Key point, and I'm not trying to go off top. I'm not gonna go too much off topic here, but my son and my daughter will not start where I started. My job as a parent is to make sure that they go start ahead of where I am. My job as a parent is to make sure that they are far above me. My job as a parent is to make sure that they do better than me in every regard. That's my job. And even if I wasn't a parent, before I was a parent, I was an uncle. So guess what? It's my job to make sure that my nieces and nephews go above and beyond me. And if you wasn't, and if you're not an uncle, guess what? You are a leader in your community where someone younger than you looks up to you. It is your job to make sure that they do better than you. Let me keep going. I'm getting tight.
Nah, imagine not.
Yo, Nor, what's your address? I'm gonna send some strippers over there.
Slow down, yo. I'm 15. I hope you know that, bro.
He loses a have.
Get women, bro.
I'm not
There's
getting
women.
women. Yo, bro, you trying to put me on a case. You trying to put them on a case.
Do you see that? He's reminding them of his age. He says, I'm 15. I hope you know that. And their response is, why are you afraid of women? Like, and I need y'all to know, this is what gaslighting looks like. That is gaslighting. If you would talk about what gaslighting is, that's gaslighting. Because he's giving you a reason. It's like, yo, if he's telling you no, like, I don't want anything to do with that, let the boy live. I know I'm stopping every few seconds, but
So?
What you mean so? That's weird.
Trying to look out. You know, all the rappers lost their virginity to like old women, right? Like,
so, okay, pause. That's the part I wanted to touch on. So the gentleman, this part wasn't DJ Akademiks. I want to make this part clear. That's the last dude talking to him isn't DJ Akademiks, but is one of his friends. And he brought up something that is very toxic that is not talked about. Most rappers lost their virginity to older women, right? Why is that a normalization of it being okay? Like, why are you making that okay? Why are we creating a double standard on pedophilia? And I could block that word out. Well, we are 18 minutes in, so hopefully YouTube doesn't demonetize me for saying that. But why are we making nail filing? We'll call it nail filing. So I slipped once. Hopefully YouTube doesn't demonetize my video, but you and if it does, so what? I don't care at this point. We are basically making a double standard when we talk about it from that standpoint. You are making and for those of you who are just coming in, the dude just said, you know, most rappers lost their virginity to older women. That is a double standard because let's flip the script. Let me show you how this is a double standard. Let's flip the script. Let's put a 15-year-old girl to older man. What do you have? Last name Kelly. And do you saw what happened with that? Do y'all saw how much we dragged R. Kelly's name through the mud? How come all of the women who did the same thing to these young boys who became rappers, how come none of them? Do you see what double standard we create with that? Do you see, is that not understood that that's not okay? And I'm just being a person who is pointing out things that is not okay. Because like I said, as a father, as somebody who has participated in the culture, as somebody who has produced for people in the culture, enough is enough. And I would like to see some changes. So I think my volume was up earlier, so I'm gonna play it again so y'all can hear this part with Akademiks. So let me click it right here so y'all can hear it.
Conversations happen. We need a cancel act. This is about the 18th time y'all have tried to have this conversation. I do want to let y'all know whether you're another community, whether you're the bitches with 15 baby daddies who are on baller alert, or the neighborhood talk, or you're one of those Kendrick fans who are upset that, you know, I'm sorry, Drake still is giving BTA belt to ass. I get it. Y'all are upset. How do we cancel act? I'm still the biggest. Pause. You can't cancel what you didn't build. If you're my...
So I'll stop here because we don't need to go through this. Which, matter of fact, I'll finish it up. But I want to touch on that. Do you see the arrogance? So this is what I was talking about. He literally said it. So my title's not clickbait. He was literally alluded that he can't get canceled. Yet the very platform he said he can't get canceled on, because you can see the chat right here, Twitch is the one who let him go. On the platform, you said you can't get canceled on. That platform removes the rug from under your feet. How ironic is that?
My audience don't have no sympathy for me. I've always said, I ain't gonna lie, I've done a lot of bullshit up in this game. Trust me, I've got mine off. This issue aside, which I am wrong. I will be better. This is a teachable moment. I also don't think it's only a teachable moment for me. For me, at first, I'm looking at like, bro, it's a dude, right? You know, if it was a woman, it would be very. Conversations happen. We need to cancel.
All right,
this is about
so
the 18th time I've tried to have this conversation.
I want to pause here because I see we got a lot of comments. The comments took a minute to load on my end, y'all, so I do apologize. So I'm going to read off the comments, and then we're going to get back into this because we have a lot of people who are speaking. Dank Meeb said, wait, he actually got sent to the shadows? He did. Andy Ackerman said, like I said, he needs to save for dentures. In fact, he does. Chris Gavin said, this dude legit asks, what does that mean? Like, bruh, he did. Dagme said, poor kid had more common sense than him. Facts. Chris Gamer said, agreed. Are y'all talking to each other? Chris Gamer said, yeah, y'all just talking to each other. I love the fact that y'all get to talk to each other, man, in this chat. That's amazing. That's amazing. Appreciate y'all. The Skinny Day One. Appreciate you coming through. I think you're new to the chat. Everyone give a welcome to the Skinny Day One, because I've not seen that name before. But welcome to the channel if this is your first time here. He said him losing his deals was false news. Actually, Switch, it was false news. Well, hey, we're gonna go more into it. That whole server needs to be placed on neighbor. That's what you did there, Dank. They definitely a weird conversation, but to be honest, I feel like after a week, people are going to forget about this. You're probably right, Skinny Day One. But the fact is, and you know what? But here's the thing, Skinny Day One. This is why this video is being made, so people can't forget about this. This is why videos, and I want more people to make more videos about this, and more people to talk out about it. So it's like it's not forgot about, like, because this is not okay. Like some of the other stuff was suggestive and everything. Some of the other stuff was kind of like, it was just weird because he was talking to, girls who were in college, but most girls in college are still of the age of 18. So you don't really have a leg to call him out on anything. So that's kind of like where it's like, we don't necessarily can't call him out. But this right here is a legitimate case where it's like, no, this is not okay at all. And he does apologize, air quotes, apologize, and I'll get to that soon. But no, it's not something that I'm okay with. Chris Gamer said, yeah, I've seen a ton of interviewers with old rappers and actors saying how they lost their V card to women when they were preteens. And I'm like, dude, that's not normal. It's not. And also shows the double standard when it comes to having stuff happen to young women compared to young men. Exactly. And it's something that's not talked about, which is why, I'm bringing this up. And of course, he deflects in bringing up Kendrick, which he does. We're going to get back into that. Dank said, just because most did it doesn't mean you need to join the circus of immoral. It's a society issue. We quick to swing the pitchforks when dudes be involved with underage girls, but not with boys. And thank you, Dank. And that's exactly where I'm coming at this with. Chris Gates said it helps. I've been friends with Dank for 5+ years. Andy Agman says, I wish I had friends. You do, man. Yo, for real, Andy, you're one of my friends, man. I appreciate you because you've been solid since I was 100+. When I was 100+ channel, like, you are literally one of the people who I could say was the 100, the pre-1000, and even the pre-500 club. I remember Andy being there before 500. So, you know, and there's a few people like Dank Beam. Dank Beam, I think, was there too. So, yeah, no, for real, y'all are real ones to still hang with me now because my content went from here to here to here to here to here. So I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. But let me get back to a little bit to the rest of what Ack was saying right here because I want y'all to hear this.
Conversation. I do want to let y'all know whether you're another community, whether you're the bitches with 15 baby daddies who are on baller alert, or the neighborhood talk, or you're one of those Kendrick fans who.
Oh, all right. No, we went past it already. So basically, we went past it, and I forgot we went past it. My bad. So he, like you said, he was deflecting because that's what you did deflecting. He was deflecting about Kendrick, and that just goes to show you that he's not sorry. Whenever somebody deflects during an apology, key thing, they're not sorry. I promise you, they are not sorry at all. And what I like to say, I like the fact that this conversation is filled with other men in the chat. And I would encourage, for those of you, if y'all have not already hit the like button, first of all, so we can get more people to come through. And also, drop your opinions as well. I want to touch on the fact that this whole idea of hypersexuality is seen as normal in men. I think there's a way that this needs to be stopped, where, you know, we don't necessarily push our boys, our young boys into that, and a lot of it comes from the music. I can say, as somebody who grew up went to both public and private school, where the music was the medium that caused and that drove most immoral behavior. And I would say, which a lot of people don't want to admit, the music always targeted the children who are in high school. They always have. Even with me growing up, because for me, the number one thing that these labels knew, and all the companies knew, that all the teenagers in my generation of millennials, we had cell phones growing up. So do you know what was one of the biggest things that we had growing up? Ringtones. And ringtones were very affordable. You didn't need to have a lot of money. All you needed was $1 for half the ringtones. So if you had a second job in high school, which a lot of children do, a lot of older teenagers going into adulthood do, they have a job outside of school. So what can you do if you have a job? You could pay your own phone bill and you could buy your own ringtones. And that's what life was like for those who were 16 and 17. Maybe not so much 15, but if you were 16 and 17 years old before you had 18, you had access more than likely to buy ringtones. And if you were a child who definitely was able to get some money from your parents growing up, or watch this, if you could find some websites that had free ringtones, or if you had a phone that allowed you to, you know, put some of the actual songs on there as a ringtone, that's all you needed. So, and for those of you who really remember the old telephonic ringtones, where they had like the little 8-bit sound ringtones. I call it like the Game Boy sounding ringtones of your favorite songs. That was a thing. So I remember, fun fact, I will say this. I remember one of my first ringtones, and this is why I would say it goes back, because I love the beat to it before I love the song. I didn't even know the song, but the beat was so good. It was Mesmerized with Ja Rule featuring Ashanti. And getting these ringtones was we definitely will speak about those. Getting those ringtones basically were, if you want to put it out there, is what made you cool in some circles. So not to go too deep off that, but a lot of that encouraged the hypersexuality that we've seen with our children, both male and female. But again, who are the leading heads when it comes to society. It's men. So if you could get the young boys to lead in a certain way, guess what the young girls are gonna do? They're gonna follow after the young men they like. And you have a lot of young girls who really like certain dudes, and you have some dudes who are basically corrupted by this music, and now you have society who's corrupted. So we talk about the baby mamas and everything and all this stuff, but who caused them? Like literally, who laid down with them and got them pregnant? They didn't do that. They didn't do that themselves. And I'm bringing this up because this comes from what? This comes from not training our boys. And I know this is not a subject that everyone wants to talk about. I know this is not a subject that everyone wants to hear because it sounds preachy. But I'll go down to somebody who's preachy and everything. I don't care because this really bothered me. So let me go on and read what y'all said. The humble roots stay with it. Chris Gamer said, I was there for all those old chill casts, even though I most likely lurked during that time. Appreciate you for being there during that time, man. He's sorry for being caught and not the actual, that's it, the actual action, which is a typical for this kind of person. And chip tune ringtones, and yep, we're going to talk about that. But that's the thing. And that's how you could tell when someone's sorry. When someone is sorry, they actually apologize for what they did and how it affected other people. They apologize for the action, but they don't just apologize for the action. They apologize for it actually affecting other people in a way that is just straight up toxic and in a way that leads others astray. Dank Meme said, definitely the music was to cater to young adults since they have the more free time to poise for manipulation. The father figures need to rise up and instill change for the young men to pave the way. Exactly, and that's what we need to do. That's why I'm so big on this, and I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here and just play 100% innocent. I've produced songs that I'm thankful did not go viral back then. I produced songs that I am thankful that did not go out and reach the masses. So I'm not going to sit here and play like, I'm, super sanctimonious or I'm a hypocrite or anything, or I did not play a role in a certain part of my career, but I shifted directions because this was, I would say, during my career around 2010, 2011 is when I made some of those songs. I would say even go as far as 2012. But it was 2014 when I said, I'm retiring. It was 2014 where I tore down my beat store. And the reason why you cannot see my beats for sale anywhere right now is because I said, I do not want my music attached to something that can destroy our next generations. That's why my music is not available for sale. If anyone ever wanted to know why is Avidan's music not for sale everywhere, it's because I do not want to play a role willingly for sale. If someone takes my free songs, I can't help that. But I have every bit of responsibility. If I make a song available for everybody for purchase and they use that song how they please, I'm responsible for whatever results that song brings, good or bad. Because what's the first thing people listen to when they hear music? The beat. And like I said, I don't play around with that. That's something that I've learned at an early age that you don't play around with that. You don't play around thinking that it's okay because, it's just music and you're making a lot of money. I don't care how much money I could potentially make. That doesn't matter to me if people are being deceived. That doesn't matter to me if people are being misled. That doesn't matter to me if I am playing an instrument in somebody having the worst memories down the line. There are certain songs I know people can never play probably over again because it brings them back to a place that they don't want to be in. And this is why I talk about, the hypersexuality. So I don't, I think we need to, I don't think, I know, let me rephrase this. I know that we as a culture, we need to reshape how the culture looks at masculinity. And we can't let the focus just be money, power, and status, regardless of the consequence. That can't be the vision and the paramount of what it means to be a man anymore in today's culture. We need to bring forth more on you go out and you take care of your business. You go out and you actually get and hold a job if you need to start off so you can at least provide for yourself. And if you want to go beyond just having a job, go out and start up a business. And the reason why I say go out and start a business because you as a man are not just a leader of your home, you are a leader in your community. So if you are not leading not just your home, but your community in a way that could be memorable, in a way that other young other young children could look up and see, you know what, this is a direction that I could follow after, we're not doing enough. And I know that's a big heavy load to put on, but this is why I appreciate, and I'm gonna give him a big shout out. He's not expecting this. This is why I appreciate men like Andy in the chat, because he is somebody who does a job that doesn't get enough credit and enough thanks in the world. He does a job where you're able to have your foods, your electronics, and everything all stocked up. Like he is makes the sacrifice on being on the road most of the time to make sure other people can have. And it's stuff like that that needs to be celebrated more on what means to be a man. Like, love you too, man. Like that is stuff like that that needs to be acknowledged. It's stuff like that that needs to be talked about. You don't hear that. It's like we don't think about that. Like you go to your stores, everything is all stocked up, everything's all nice. Like the old Eddie Murphy. It's so nice, so nice. And everything is so nice to put up on the walls. They got there because people like Andy made sure it was so. And not just Andy. I want to give some respect. Some women do the same job as Andy. You got truckers who do jobs. You got construction workers to make sure your roads. So for people who are going on road trips or travel from interstate to interstate can do that. This country would not be anywhere if you did not have men like that. And where I'm getting at is the idea of self-sacrifice. And I'm not trying to get biblical, but that's what Moses did. A lot of people criticize Moses and like, oh, he didn't make it to the promised land and he died before he made it. They leave out an important piece. He trained and made sure the next generation can cross through and make it through to the promised land. And the thing is, my question is, what are you willing to build that you may not see the fruit of, but your children or your grandchildren could see it? What are you willing to build? Because that's, if you want to talk about why the change hasn't been effective, everybody's been trying to have their cake and eat it too. Everybody's been trying to experience the change instead of putting in the self-sacrifice so that others could experience the change. I said a lot. I said a lot. Let me go through. Respect, well said. So this is where I want to make one more pivot and say, how do we make sure, we have more streamers like Noor, and we get into the place of teaching our children discipline. We need to teach them what it means to be integrable. We need to teach them responsibility. Because if we don't teach them those three things, it's a recipe for destruction. The shows that you see on YouTube, 'cause that's the new TV now. The shows you see on YouTube, Some of it could be inspiring. Some of it could be destructive. So I want to say, you know what? I want to ask this. And I want to pose this in a different way because I don't want to be like I'm just beating down on Akademiks right now. I want to ask a question because you had to be hurt yourself to kind of get to this point. So what do you think would have happened if Akademiks was held accountable earlier and didn't get the platform to rise up the way it did if he was held accountable earlier? How do y'all think? Do y'all think it would have gotten this far if he was held accountable earlier? Like, I want to talk to y'all about that. Andy says, this is why I love these streams. Avi uplifts always. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Like, what do y'all think? I want to hear what y'all think about that. If Ak was held accountable earlier, would this have gone as far? Accountability isn't transactional. Whew. That's a bar. That's a good question. I want to say probably not, but I don't know. And that's kind of like where I want to think about this at. I want to think about this from a place of like, what if he was just held accountable earlier? Like, what if? I don't know, man. I don't know. This is just one of those things where, yeah. By the way, I'm gonna leave this live stream up. We talked a lot, but I'm definitely gonna leave this live stream up. Do y'all think I should? Matter of fact, let me ask y'all. Should I chop up the live stream a little bit and we just get the chopped up version, or should we just leave the live stream up? Because I like where we're going with this. I like this a lot, and it's fun. I'm gonna do more of these more often. And I didn't expect over 20 of y'all at one point to show up tonight, but here we are. I say leave it up. Bet. Leave it as it is. All right, cool. We'll leave it up. So I want to talk about one more thing before we leave. And this is more kind of like just making sure that I like it's all good. Like sure, and it's her could have a pivot to help, but the person gotta want to change for themselves 100%. A short, yo, you know what? I'm gonna do that for you, Andy. I know you're joking, you're laughing, but you know what? I'm gonna make a short highlighting Andy. I'm gonna do that. I definitely will make a short highlighting you. Daggone right I will, because you do a lot. That is no problem. When this video processes, I will make a short highlighting you. So I'm gonna pivot one last time into a part of the conversation that we could talk about. And I'm dead serious. I'm gonna do it. All right. So I want to talk about the dangers, because we kind of touched on it with Ak, but I kind of want to expand it beyond Ak and say, what happens when somebody achieves fame and doesn't have accountability? And I'm saying this because we've seen too many examples of what happens when you have somebody who has excessive fame but zero accountability. And what does zero accountability look like? It looks like I can't tell this dude he's wrong because he's put insert name here. So I'll give you one. I can't tell Kanye West he's tripping because he's Kanye West. I can't say he's tripping for saying he's God because he's Kanye West. That's Kanye West. You can't say that to him. That's what happens when you create fame out of accountability. It creates an open door for idolatry. It creates a form where you treat them like they are pictures and what's the word I'm looking for? not images, but ideas that you worship. They're treated more like worship points. And when you start to worship something, you lose the ability to properly critique it. Let me say it again. When you worship something, you lose the ability. Well, let me rephrase that, because not really. There's people who worship God. And matter of fact, no. Because there's people who don't even critique God. There's people who you don't even critique God. So there's people who, watch this, who worship the Bible, but can't make proper critiques. I don't worship the Bible. I worship God. I read the Bible, and I can say the Bible is 100% God's word because I did enough critiques to see, oh, it checks out for itself. I could critique it because it's not afraid of the truth is not afraid of being wrong, because it's not. So here's the thing. I'm going to say, and that's y'all can know me. I could go there. I'm not going there tonight. So the problem is when you have young boys who idolize these superstars, they can't objectively see that their actions are problematic. They can't objectively see that the way they live is toxic. Even if while they're going through, it feels uncomfortable, even though while they're going through, it feels like something doesn't feel right, they ignore it. They ignore their senses of saying, I probably shouldn't be doing this. But the idea of I want to be cool like this person blurs the lines of right and wrong. And that is why I appreciate Noor having standards before he went into that conversation. Because you notice he knew more than the average 15-year-old. He knew, wait, this is not right. And I'm not gonna say he knew more, he understood. He didn't just have knowledge, he had understanding as well. So I just want to put it out there because this industry doesn't care. This industry, as someone who has experience going through, this industry does not care about you. They will discard you the moment that you lose your usefulness. They will discard you. And even though DJ Akademiks, it hurts me to say this, he represents somebody who grew up more indie. He shows what happens where even if you build it yourself, you can still fall. So I'm going to stop it there. And that's what I say, what should I chat? Andy said, I have faith, but I believe the Bible is a collection of stories written by flawed men who hope to make people better than human beings. Listen, man, that is a conversation. So I want to comment on that. And I'm not going to go too much longer into this because if I go too much longer into this, that would be a whole nother stream and I'll be here until 1 o'clock in the morning. I actually got to get up at 4:30 in the morning. It's already 12:10. So I'm already losing sleep, but I don't care because I wanted to talk to y'all tonight. Here's the thing, and this is why the Bible's crazy. You're right that the Bible is written by a bunch of people who have made so many different mistakes and who have done so many wrong things all at once. But it's amazing how each and every one of these people who had a collection of accounts and events end up pointing at the same thing. You have so many different authors who lived in different time periods, hundreds of years apart from each other, yet still pointed at the same thing. I find that amazing. I find that fascinating that you have multiple authors pointing at the same thing and, watch this, didn't even read each other's works. That's the amazing part. but I'm not gonna go deep into that. I've done biblical history and studied. I'm not somebody. I'm gonna let y'all know this now. I'm not somebody who just goes to church and just believes what the person at the pulpit is saying all the time. I'm somebody who has to go verify the information for myself, and I will spend hours upon hours upon hours on research. And the hours I've done, even now for the past 10 years, still readily confirm itself. Even the things that I had questions about, things I had doubts upon, the more I study, I'm like, oh, that's where that goes. So I appreciate your comment, Andy, but it is late. I am going to start wrapping it up. I do appreciate each and every one of you who came through, who gave me your time. We got 135 views from this one live stream. I appreciate y'all for real, for real. But I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to me and to hear my thoughts on this. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the rest of your evening with your loved ones. And I'm going to try, I think it was when I was multi-streaming that the frames were dropping. Because all I did was just stream from YouTube. I didn't go back on Twitch. So for these live streams, I may no longer multi-stream. I may just keep it over on YouTube. And we'll just go from there. So appreciate you as well, Dank. Appreciate you too, Chris. So we're going to get on out of here. For those of you who are watching the replay, if you have not already, let me know your thoughts in the chat, in the comments, first of all. But hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Most of all, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You make sure you share this with a friend. This is Avidan, and we are out. Peace. Real fast. Those of you who have Maschine or Melodics, I got some links in the description where you can check out. We got some new plugins with Maschine. I got some affiliate links in the bottom in the description. And if you want to get up your piano game or your pads game, I got a link in the description for Melodics as well.